Hello and welcome, Buccaneer fans, to Game 2 of today's doubleheader. The Junior Bucs and the Junior Lancers. We are foregoing a warm-up in the second game, so we will go ahead and we'll get our starting lineups, not our starting lineup, excuse me, our roster up board again. Uriah Ford in goal again. Eli is homesick. We hope he gets better. He's watching the games. In the previous game, for those that weren't watching, Bucs fell 5-0. Omaha scored a couple goals in the first two, and then a goal in the third. Bucs didn't really have a whole lot of opportunities in that first period, or in that first game. So hopefully we'll get a couple more here in the second. Get a little more comfortable playing. So, 13 minutes on the clock. Wes Main, Brody Burns, Aiden Lambert the forwards, Everett Kaiser, Graham Herron on the ice for the D. Kaiser over to Herron. Herron diagonal pass over to Main. Miscommunication, turns it over. Omaha sends it in deep behind the board, gathered by Herron. Tries a hard pass up the middle. Intercepted, stolen right back by Graham, pushes it up to Burns. Pushes it into the attacking zone, cleared out by the Lancers. Kaiser gives chase, two Lancers trailing behind him. Up to Main on the near boards, clears the zone. We're going to get an offsides. We'll leave the dot right there. 12:22 left to go here early in the game. Burke steals it at center ice, carries it in across the far boards. He loses it in the dots. Gets pushed up against the boards for his troubles. Still on the ice. Omaha gathers, clears it. Puck goes off the referee, prevents Ray Camper from gathering. Hence over to Hazel. Hazel up into the corner, gets checked into the boards. Puck loose, Reckhemper from the high point, bounces one in behind the net. Hazel still with it in the corner. Reckhemper misplays it off his heel. Hence along the boards. Pancakes a Lancer. Puck squirts behind the net. Hazel's on the ice. Puck squirts free in the middle. Walker with it on the near side. Gives a diagonal to Burke, who loses his edge. Reckhemper giving chase. Omaha is clear, so they can make a change. Long pass, clears the zone. Hits the Lancer, though. Going to give chase. Hazel gets there first. Loses his stick. Kaiser keeps it in momentarily before Omaha clears it out. Burke on a back check. And we're going to get a call on Burke. Going to get interference. Coach Kaiser is looking for an explanation. Looked a little bit like Burke's stick was getting grabbed, and Hazel lost his completely at the other end. But at the end of it, Bucs are going to be on a penalty kill. Face off to the right of Uriah Ford. Won by the Lancers, but clears the zone. Heron's going to give chase. Good forecheck by Heron. Forced the bad pass in the stretch, and we're going to get an icing. So in 11 seconds, the Bucs gained about 180 feet of ice on the penalty kill. Offsides call. Face off in the neutral zone. Not a lot of action. Kaiser changing it up. Hazel, Walker walked. Recamper out here on the penalty kill. Walker shoots it into the offensive zone, gathers by Lancer on the back check, carries it out. Lancer's going the other way with it. Going to get an offsides. Try to crisscross interference pattern. Just a little too antsy. See on the board, 9:30 left to go here in the first period. 35 seconds left on the penalty to Evan Burke. Walker wins it back to Walked. Carries it behind his own net. Comes back the other way. Walker can't get it out of the zone. Finally, Walked sends it all the way down. We're going to get an icing, so we'll leave it right here. Walker wins the face-off. Recamper can't clear it out to the blue line. Puck still loose. Lancers gather in the high slot. Walker and Hazel disrupt. Walked there also. Walker forces his way. Kicked away by Ford into the corner. Burke out of the box. Both teams are at full strength. Hazel loses Walker with it in the high slot. Puck clears the zone. We're going to get an offsides, which is good because we'd have icing otherwise. A break there for the Bucs. 8:30 to go. Still scoreless here in the first. Face off right in front of the Bucs bench. Benning with it over to Ewing, tries the centering pass, blocked by a Lancer stick. Chisel pressures, we're going to get an icing call, and Hentz grabs it. Going down to the other end. Puck's cleared the zone. Benning giving chase along with a couple Lancers. Stood up, Chisel right at center ice. Puck loose to Kaiser, lifts it up off the glass with the backhand to Chisel. Carries into the zone. Ewing recovers. The left of the dot, takes a shot, deflects off the goalie. Puck is loose. Puck is loose. We got a little action if the puck isn't under the goalie. Oh, looks like the puck's under the goalie. There was an Omaha player behind the goalie in front of the net. And if he was laying on the puck, then it'd be a penalty. But Ewing wins it to the dot to Deacon Benning. Omaha gets in and clears. Kaiser and Hentz giving chase. Omaha gets there first. Takes a shot, saved by a forward and put back by the Lancers. Nothing more than a putback. Great save by Ford initially. The rebound goes right to a Lancer. And Omaha gets on the board first, 1-0. Turnover by the Bucs in the neutral zone. Lambert back checks, Burns and walk along the near side. West Main there also senders it out to Lambert. West Main with it along the near side. Got it help in the middle. He's got the dots. Lancers stand him up and then shoves him into the boards. Heron pokes it up front of the Omaha bench. Fighting for the puck with the Lancer. Puck squirts free to Grant Walked on the far side. He takes it back. Plays it up to Maine, pushes it on. No icing. Burns giving chase. Out to Maine at the point. Lancers with it. Cleared the zone. Heron back to get it with Walked. And a Lancer backhand to Walked up to the ice. And we're going to get an icing. 6:15 to go here in the first period. Bucs trail 1-0. Gavin Hazel, that was an offsides, no call. Lancer's still with it. Burke's giving chase. It's in the backside into the corner. Puck is loose along the wall. Out to Cam Hentz. Dispossessed by Hazel, puck goes to Hazel up to Burke in the corner. Tries the centering pass, blocked by Omaha. Omaha carrying in the zone. Hentz up along the far corner. Puck still with the referee. Burke tries to engage. Centering pass blocked by Hentz. Gavin Hazel with it through the neutral zone. Passes it up to Walker. Gets it off the toe of his stick. Omaha recovers behind the net high. We're going to get a penalty for roughing. Lays out Evan Burke. Nowhere close to the puck. Bucs are on another power play. Just can't seem to do anything with them. Haven't really had a great opportunity in a game in a little over a half a period. Heron with the shot from the high point, gloved by the goalie and frozen. Back to another face-off. E-wing back to Heron. Over to Kaiser in the high slot. E-wing with it behind the net. Over to Deacon Benning in the corner. Pushes it out to Heron, top of the circles. Low shot, deflected off of Shizzle, still loose. Puck is still in front of the net, and the goalie covers it up in the lotus position. Bucs have something going here so far on this power play. Minute 7 left to go. Trying to get that first goal of the season. Over to Benning. Over to Heron. Heron loses it off the heel of his stick. Bucs have to check up. Kaiser with it. Tries to send it across ice to Heron. Just sends it into the offensive zone. Gathered by the Lancers. Benning giving pressure. Heron gathers it. Up to Shizzle. Pushes it on ahead. Chased by Benning off of Shizzle. Puck loose into the corner to Benning. Benning backhands it to Boston. E-wing. Heron sends it back into the corner. Benning with a high shot gloved by the goalie and frozen again. Another face-off. 25 to go here on the power play. 4 minutes to go in the first period. Power play change for the Bucs. West Main, Blake Reckhemper. Grant walked. Aiden Lambert and Rhodey Burns takes the face-off. Wins it. Lambert gets it behind the net. Pushed up along the boards. Good recovery by Grant Walks. Carries it in, dumps it into the corner. Chases it, gets lit up against the boards, stays with it. Going to call a penalty here. On walked. I didn't see a signal at all, so don't know what we'll do with it. There's a lot of action up against the boards. We'll go onto the penalty kill. Heron, Hentz, Walker, and Kaiser, I believe. Shot never gets through to Ford. Still, that shot bounces off a Lancer in front of the net. Cleared out. We're going to get an icing call, so we'll leave it down here. Shot high into the corner. Heron pressures. Another shot across the goal mouth. Doesn't find anybody. Lancers send it back in behind the net. Shot blockered away by Uriah Ford back into the corner. Lancers centering past, pushed out by pushed out by E-wing. Lancers gather. Send it in along the near boards. Hentz gets tripped. They're going to call that. And we're going to be 4-on-4 for about 30 seconds. See there, 2:20 left in the period. Bucs are trailing 1-0. Starting to see a little bit of fatigue out of some of these players. Puck hits the official, prevents it from getting back to the point. Hentz dumps it in. E-wing pressures. Kaiser with it at the dot. Takes it into the corner. Stood up along the boards. Puck comes loose to the far side. Heron pressures briefly. Hentz gathers. Backhands it to the middle. Gathered by Omaha. Clears the zone. Boston sends it back in. Grant walked out of the box. 5-on-4. Shot by Walks. Misses wide. Puck still behind the net. Hentz with it along the far boards. Kaiser tries to get it to E-wing. Puck skirts free to Hentz. Hentz on the far side, back to Boston. Boston with the shot, misses wide of the net. Heron gathers at the dot. No angle, blocked by the defense. Hentz with the shot, deflected by the Lancers. Gets past Heron's stick behind the boards, and the Lancers clear the zone. Hentz there to retrieve. Backhand to Boston. Pressure. Kaiser with it. And the Bucs are going to change. Under a minute to go. 4 seconds on the power play. Hazel with it. Puck loose behind the net. Evan Burke retrieves. Tries a pass to the middle. Reckhemper gets it taken away from him. Burke goes in. Reckhemper gives chase along the far boards. Puck goes down. We're going to get an icing call. Burke's got to get there. Puck's got to get there. Puck never gets there. Lancers chase, under 10 to go. Come on, boys, get it out. Evan Burke from his belly pushes it out. Uriah blockers it up over the net. Reckhemper clears it to the corner. And the first period comes to an end. Bucs trail 1-0 after one. We'll be back for the second in just a minute. Back, getting ready to start the second period. Bucs trail 1-0, playing a little bit better this game than the first game. A little more familiar, a little bit more comfort out on the ice. Burns chased, Main intercepts at center ice. Puck bouncing back and forth, blue line to blue line. Burns finally gathers, loses it, top of the circles. Heron with it deep in the corner. Up to Lambert, carries it out of the zone. Dump and chase by Lambert. Burns with him. Tries to drop behind the net. Intercepted by the Lancer. West Main into the corner. Lancers clear the zone out, intercepted by Walks. And we're going to have an offsides. Just kidding, we're going to have the face-off over here, guys. Walker wins the face-off, pushes it into the offensive zone. Lancers clear it behind their net. Clear the zone, gathered by Walker again. That's an icing, but refs wave it off. Shot blocked by, looks like Cam Hence's skate. Puck squirts free out here. Everett Kaiser with it. Lancers are swarming. Shizzle over to Hazel. Hazel centers it, kicked away by a Lancer. A little dangerous, goes just past the net, gathers. We're going to get an icing call and leave it down here. .10:53 here to go in the second period. Ewing wins the face-off. Loses it at the point. Heron over to retrieve. Delayed momentarily. Puck on edge. Reckamper grabs it. Over to Deacon Benning. Looks like an offsides call. Lancers with it behind their net, trying to break it out. Reckamper loses the skate. Heron over to delay. Lancers dump it in. Benning back to retrieve. Pushes it along the near boards. Nobody there. Lancers were changing. Puck's going to go all the way around for an icing. Not sure. Bucs were changing on that, and nobody was around, but puck loose in front of the net, gathered by Walks up to Maine. Yeah, offsides. A little too much stick handling at the blue line there. You got to gain the zone before you can do that fun stuff. Results is a power play over there in front of the Omaha bench. Maine with the pass over to Burns. Lambert gets it, Hence back to Walk. Pushes it up by Maine. Lancers grab it. Maine with the forecheck. Lambert pressure, forces a pass. Burns back to Hentz, loses it halfway there. Intercepted by Burns, passes off to Maine. Lambert retrieves it, gets stood up at the blue line. Walked with it behind his net, pushes it along to Hentz at the half wall. Burke dumps and chases it to the end line, gathered up by Lancer. Into the far corner, intercepted by Burns momentarily. Lancers with a shot, and he threw the 5-hole. Omaha scores. Go up 2-0. Bucs had some momentum going. Puck squirts loose into the near corner. Hazel there, shot from the point, misplayed. Hazel to Rick Hemper. Kaiser retrieves behind his own net, loses his skate. Omaha with it, centering pass. Walker chips it clear. Omaha tries to regroup at their own blue line. Pushes it up to the attacking blue line, intercepted by Walker. Turned it over. Good poke check by Rick Hemper. Jensen dumps it in. Puck loose. The edge, centering by Walker. Can't get through to Burke. Lancers gather. Oh, excellent job. Kaiser keeps it in briefly. Rick Hemper here at the right point. Takes a shot. Hits a Lancer skate. Ewing with it. The high slot. Here's Kaiser on his forehand. Over to Hazel. Hazel sends it into the net. Boston backhands. Doesn't get through, up in the air. Burke's still there. Hazel, Rick Hemper, puck squirts free. Bucs have to check up. And that's a goal. Looks like Lancer lost it and just backhanded it in off Uriah. Might have hit him from that sharp angle. Nonetheless, 3-0 is the score. Omaha on top here, 6:17 left to go in the second period. We've reached just past the halfway point of this game. Bucs are still scoreless. Heron dumps it in, gathered by Omaha. Sends it across the ice, hits the referee. Deacon Benning there, forechecking. Omaha sends it in off a walk. Puck is loose, centering pass, takes a shot, misses wide left. Benning along the near board, still pressuring with Shizzle. Puck comes loose. Boston Ewing tries to keep it in, but we'll get an offsides neutral zone face-off. Bucs trailing 3-0. A few more opportunities in this game than the previous game, but we still haven't gotten too many clean shots. The puck handling hasn't quite been on par, but it is still early. These boys still have a long way to go. It's only the first weekend of games for them. Brody Burns carries it into the zone, runs into the official, and then loses his own skate. Omaha goes the other way on a 3-on-2. Knocked away by Grant Walked. Aiden Lambert over to Walked. Back to Heron, sends it up. Nobody there. There's a shot blocked away by Uriah. Walk carries it up along the glass. Try and get an icing call, and we're going to get an icing call. Man, that was a 240-foot shot off the glass. 4.5 to go here in the second. Bucs still looking for their first goal of the day. So shot blockered away by Ford up over the glass. Walker pressures over to Burke. Burke along the far side. Loses it at the blue line. Again, a little too much action with the puck right at the blue line. A lot of mishandles in this game. But again, things to work on, things we can get better at. We don't want to peak this early. Burke in the corner. Taken away by Omaha. Carries it around his own net. Kept in by Hentz. Kaiser with it on the near corner. Hentz. A little pressure. Kaiser on his legs. Puck hits the side of the net. Kaiser retrieves it. Diagonal pass to Walker. Tries to kick it ahead straight to an Omaha player. We're going to get offsides. Omaha was trying to change. Schizzle takes the face-off into the attacking zone along the near boards. Gets ran into the boards, loses it in the corner. Still with it. Omaha gathers. Heron pickpockets it at the blue line, takes it up to Boston. Boston with the low shot. Kicked away. Deacon tries to pass it to Ray Kemper, hits his skate. Heron back. Toe drag and a little backhand puts it in for the Lancers. And they take a 4-0 lead. Puck behind the net for the Bucs. Schizzle just gets elbowed from behind. Passes up to Benning, can't retrieve it. Boston back in the corner. Heron tries to dispossess in the corner. Puck is still loose. Knocked up by Schizzle. We're getting offsides. Just under 2 minutes to go here in the second period. Bucs trail 4-0. At this point, getting a goal on the board would be so much psychologically just to see that first one get in. Puck's in the corner. Walked is in there. Looks like Lambert might be in there. Squirt's free. Walk pushes up against the boards. Omaha pushes against Walked. Puck is stuck in the skates. Finally comes out. I believe Burns plays it up to Maine over in the corner. Shot by Omaha. Flex in front of the net. Hence, Burns shot. Hence with it along the backside. Maine can't keep it in. Omaha dumps it into the corner. Burns there. Walk tries to dispossess. Lambert can't get it. Finally cleared out by Walked. Gathered at center ice by Omaha. Lambert pressuring. Kaiser clears the center ice. Gathered by the Lancers. Bucs can't get control. Centering pass in the middle, hits the post, bounces out free, and that's going to be the end of the period. Lancers with a great opportunity right before the buzzer, cannot convert. At the end of the second period, the score is 4-0 in favor of Omaha. We will be back with the third. We're back here at the start of the third. I'm going to go on mute for a second as I'm finishing chewing a Mike and Ike. So I'll just let you watch the action for a little bit. All right, there's an offsides call there. Face off in the neutral zone. Puck still free. Walker pressures high in the zone. Burt tries to intercept the pass. Walker dumps it in behind the net. Nobody chasing on the other side. Omaha through the neutral zone. Puck squirts free down the other end, gathered by Omaha. Plays it up center ice. Gathered up by Ewing at the blue line. Little toe drag gets picked off. Omaha's going the other way. Walker with the poke check. Omaha into his own player. Burke with it, center ice, loses it. Omaha with a 2-on-2. Reckamper uses his skates, knocks the puck away. Centering pass, shot, goal. Goal by Omaha. Centering pass got blocked into the one to clean up the mess. And it jumps over Uriah's blocker. Back on a running clock, just over 10 minutes to go. Shizzle with it into the attacking zone. Heron loses it at the blue line, then gets dispossessed. Omaha with the 3-on-2, kicked off a skate. Uriah blockers her away with his pad. Benning along the far side. 4 Lancers there. Graham with a toe drag, uses his skate, gets it up to his stick. Drops it to Hentz, can't get there in time. Omaha clears out. Ewing with a great poke check. Sends it up to Heron and Benning, miscommunication. Blockered away by Ford. Hentz carries it up. Omaha goes the other way. Benning with it on the near side. Tries to clear. Centering shot. Bouncing puck. Gloved to the side. Omaha passes, clears the zone. Bucs get a change. Shizzle gets an elbow for his hard effort. Main behind the net, passes to Walked. Centering pass. Kaiser carries it into the attacking zone, backhands off a Lancer. Not sure if that was a pass or a shot. Westmain, Kaiser keeps it in at the point. Pushes it toward the net, finds its way into the corner with Walked. Walked gets laid into the boards. And we're gonna get a penalty. And it looks like Walked is down into the corner. Good sportsmanship there. The Omaha player checking to make sure he's okay before he goes to the penalty box. It's under 8 minutes to go here in the third. Bucs go on a power play. Main, Lambert, Kaiser, Heron, and Burns out on the ice. Burns with the face-off. Wins it back to Maine. Kaiser loses it over to Heron on the far side. Shot from the top of the dots, misses wide left. Burns still there, back over to Kaiser. Graham carries it in, top of the dots, takes a shot off the goalie's mask in front. Maine trying to be a shield there. There's a shot in front, Burns blocked. Kaiser with it down to the corner again. It's a shot backside, shot and a good save. Oh, what a great opportunity, backside. Goalie gloves it. Hey, that was a great build-up by the Bucs. Result wasn't what we needed or wanted, but that was a great build-up. Good passing, good puck possession led to that opportunity. Lambert pushes off the player, bounces off the stick. Goalie, puck's still loose in front. There's a shot, misses wide by West Main. Goalie was on his backside and just pushed it wide. Heron takes a look at the clock. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Over to Burns. Burns sends it in, gloved and frozen. 6:20 to go and counting here in the final period. Bucs trailing 5-0. Face-off comes to the right of the Omaha goalie. Hence with the shot from the high point. Just goes over the glove of the goalie. Burt gets it behind the net. Red Kemper up along the boards, passes over to Hentz. Hentz blocks the clearing attempt. Omaha clears. Going to get an ice if it ever gets there, but it's on its edge, and it gets there. Evan Burke touches up. Kemper, shot blocked. Walker turns it over. Henson a foot race with Omaha. Burke trailing. Oh, good stop by Hentz. Gets a stick on the ice. Dives in front of the net. Puck is still loose. Hazelback gets a stick lift. Omaha. No goal. No goal, says the referee. Puck was loose in the corner, centering shot. Looks like it hit a Omaha player in the skates. And I believe the referee said he kicked it in, which is why we're getting a neutral zone face-off instead of a face-off in front of the walks past, mishandled by Kaiser, collects it, takes it around his net. Over to Ewing. Ewing with a long diagonal to Shizzle. Lancers play it on. Walk gather with the Lancer to her side, pushes it back into the corner. Benning and Ewing. Walk pushes it out on the near side, tries to poke check it away. Lancers get the pass. Shizzle loses it at center ice. Omaha clears into the zone, just over 3 minutes to go here in the final period. Shizzle up to center ice. Walks past, blocked. Kaiser clears deep, get an icing call and a change. Heron clears the zone. Burns with it on the near side. Takes a shot, blockered away by the goalie. Burns still with it, centering pass off his pads. Puck was loose in the middle. Omaha gathers on the far side, carries it through the neutral zone. Intercepted by Hentz. Hentz back to Burns. Burns gets it taken from the backside. Heron tries to poke check it away. Puck slides right in past Uriah. And they put a sixer up. We're at a minute to go. Puck loose in the near boards. Omaha with it. Burke tries for a check, centering pass. Loses it. Walker in the high slot, pushes it away. 25 seconds to go here. Walker intercepts at center ice. Dumps it in. Ten seconds to go. Brett Kemper with it in the far corner. Omaha with it. Eating time in the corner. 2-1. And that's going to be it. And the conclusion of today's games. It'll be 6-0 Omaha at the end of the second game. Not a good weekend for the Bucs, but now we know what to work on, what we get to play with, and we'll get ready to practice. And we got 2 games next week. We travel up to Ames, and we'll get the links out for those wanting to watch that game. Otherwise, we'd love to see you up at the Ames Ice Arena. For Nick Heron and Scarlett Heron, signing off from Omaha. We will see you all next week. Thanks for watching.